key to fulfillment, success, happiness, contentment in life is when you align your personality with what your soul actually came to do. I believe everybody has a soul and has, their own personal spiritual energy. So when you can use your personality to serve whatever that thing is, you can't help but be successful.
Determined, passionate, genuine, engaging, kind-hearted are some of the few words that can be used to describe the queen of all media, Oprah Winfrey. Best known for her internationally acclaimed and groundbreaking talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which she hosted for 25 years, she is one of the most widely known and inspirational women in the world.
Oprah's gift as a host, as a producer, as an Oscar-nominated actress, has always been her ability to relate to her audience, to laugh with us, to cry with us, to draw us in and connect our most fervent hopes and deepest fears to her own. And the reason we share ourselves with Oprah is because she shares herself with us. In more than 4,500 episodes of her show, her message was always, you can. You can do, and you can be, and you can grow, and it can be better. And she was living proof.
When you least expect it, wonder can happen in your life. The most amazing thing. It means it's never over.
After launching her own television network, the Oprah Winfrey Network, and her own production company, Harpo Productions, after co-writing 5 books and appearing in several films, she became the first African-American female billionaire. She is a media leader, talk show host, TV producer, actress, and philanthropist.
I started to see that there's this common thread in our humanity where everybody wants to know, how was that? Did I do okay? Did you hear me? And did what I say mean something to you? Recognizing that in other people has helped me to become, a person of compassion, a person of understanding, a person who can interview anybody about anything, because I know that the core of you is the same as the core of me. You just want to be heard. I consider myself a woman in process, and until I take the last breath, that's where I'll be. And I still aspire to everything. This is just the beginning for me.
Rising from childhood poverty and abuse to the pinnacle of the entertainment universe. But even with 40 Emmys, the distinction of being the first black female billionaire, Oprah's greatest strength has always been her ability to help us discover the best in ourselves. As one of those fans wrote, I didn't know I had a light in me until Oprah told me it was there.
Considered by many as one of the most influential women in the world, her powerful impact on society is even known as the Oprah effect. We take a deep look at Oprah's rags to riches journey, what she has overcome, and what made her break from her past to become the powerful and successful woman she is today. This is Oprah Winfrey's fight for a better life.
I think the reaction to Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah is going to be huge. I think it's going to be the most watched TV for months. Everybody is dying to know what Meghan has to say after leaving the royal family, moving to California, another baby on the way. And even if you hate Meghan, you're going to watch. If you love Meghan, you're going to watch. If you love Oprah, you're going to watch. Everyone is going to be watching this show. Meghan is so popular all over the world, and to leave the royal family, everybody has to know why. There hasn't been anything out there, nothing in her words, and she's finally going to share what happened. Such a difficult balance for them to pitch because you don't ever want to come across as not grateful for what you have or taking it for granted. I think that Meghan is in a really tough position. She loves Harry. She is starting her life with him and their baby on the way. But there are so many people that absolutely hate her. They think she's acting all the time. She even gets made fun of for putting her hand on her belly when she's pregnant. Where else are you going to rest your hand when you have a baby in there? But she could come across as just acting, and people will find that insincere.
On March 7th, 2021, the whole world was on the edge of its seat to find out what Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle had to say in their tell-all and bombshell interview to Oprah Winfrey.
Make no mistake, the fallout from this will shudder down through the generations.
I see two clearly very unhappy young people. I feel very sorry for them.
It's kind of, I have to say, I find this very sad.
The show received a lot of controversy. After it aired, the explosive revelations reverberated days later. Thousands of complaints were made about misleading allegations regarding the press and the royal family.
There's a misconception that because I have worked in the entertainment industry that this would be something I would be familiar with. I've never been part of tabloid culture. And I think we were just hit so hard at the beginning with a lot of mistruths. I made the choice to not read anything.
Americans have a fairy tale about the royal family, and this fantasy has been shattered.
I think this was confirmation, if confirmation were needed, that their life in the UK is over. The chapter of that book is well and truly shut.
To think that this is the royal family that I personally love and adore, this is the way that they behave behind closed doors.
The royal family's been through worse than this, but the monarchy will survive it because they're pretty indissoluble. They have their own rules, their own practices, their own club. You do not break into it, you don't change their rules. If you do it, it's going to end in a mess, and it's ended in a mess, I'm afraid.
This has opened up a Pandora's box, and there are so many wider issues at stake. The future of the monarchy, this streamlined monarchy that you keep hearing people talking about. What does that actually look like if Meghan and Harry do step down?
I think there is now an allegation of racism hanging over a member or members of the royal family. We don't know who, as we said earlier, not the Queen, not the Duke of Edinburgh, but beyond that, we don't know who. Harry and Meghan wouldn't say.
Sir, have you spoken to your brother since the interview?
No, I haven't spoken to you yet, but I will do.
And can you just let me know, is the royal family a racist family, sir?
They're very much not a racist family.
It's great to hear people's stories, but as a journalist, your immediate thoughts are the truth. What is the truth? What are the facts of the scenario? And you have to investigate those, and I don't think Oprah did that enough.
This is a rock-solid institution that very few new incomers have changed and can change.
You can argue why they're treated like that. Is it because she's a divorcee American, or is it the fact that she is a woman of colour, black woman, biracial, however you want to look at it? That's the question.
In an institution that is not that far removed from slavery and colonialism, it's not a shock here or there, anywhere, that like, I have friends who date folks of color whose families ask if that's the first question, is like, is the person going to come, is your child going to come out dark?
This program has gone out in the United States, so the United States has an image of this country, and that image has been altered.
It isn't shocking to hear. To me, it sounds disappointing, upsetting, tearful, even when I watched it, because sadly, what people don't seem to understand is that racism exists all around us all the time.
Well, it's really sad to see the family in turmoil like this. The issues that Meghan has raised of race and mental health are really serious.
People love scandal, and people love these stories of intrigue and family dynamics, but I think it's gossip.
I think it's probably a wake-up call for them that they need to move with the times more and understand more about mental health and problems like that, and not just try and brush it all under the carpet, because that's what they've done for years, and it didn't work with Diana and it hasn't worked with this.
There are so many sort of interracial marriages, so it's nothing new, and so the fact that all this has come up is kind of very surprising and quite disappointing.
I mean, I suppose it's true you can't change the royal family. Diana found out about that, and she was born into a family of courtiers, so That's true. But at the same time, we're in an age that's very, very different, and a lot of people have bought in to the story of this couple, and it's launched 1,000 ships of hope and all of this kind of thing. And people can laugh at that, but actually it's true. And if you look at Oprah Winfrey's face during this interview, her face is more important than Meghan or Harry's, and you'll see how America's reacting to it, and it ain't good.
The 2-hour special has become one of her most iconic interviews. It shook the public, the press, and the royals, and is said to be one of the most heavily spun and anticipated television interviews in recent memory. But opinions aside, one fact is undeniable. Oprah Winfrey was the only super famous interviewer capable of helming this conversation, and the royal couple knew it too, which is why they chose Oprah over anyone else.
It'll do well.
And if it doesn't?
And if it doesn't, I will still do well. I will do well because I'm not defined by a show. You know, I think we are defined by the way we treat ourselves and the way we treat other people. You know, it would be wonderful to be, you know, acclaimed as this, you know, talk show host who's made it. That would be wonderful. But if that doesn't happen, there are, you know, other important things in my life.
Oprah once dreamed of becoming a talk show host who would have made it. It turned out she did. Oprah's got talent and skills. Her authenticity and personality make her one of the most trusted interviewers to date. She asks the hard questions. Her reflective listening and genuine interest in her guests encourages them to open up. The royal interview came 10 years after her talk show ended in 2011. She has made a significant impact in the world of communication. The Oprah Winfrey Show entertained, uplifted, and enlightened millions of viewers for 25 years. It reached more than 40 million viewers a week in the United States as the top-rated talk show and was licensed to 150 countries internationally. She has interviewed everyone from presidents to superstars, murderers, and victims of abuse. Her most successful interview of all time still remains the 90-minute sit-down with Michael Jackson in 1993. The King of Pop had not given one single interview in 14 years, but he allowed Oprah to come to the Neverland Ranch. Viewed by a record-breaking 90 million people, it became the most-watched TV interview in television history. The Oprah Winfrey Show remains the highest-rated daytime talk show in American television history. However, she declared in an interview that her job was never to be an interviewer.
The whole purpose of that platform was to try to lift people up. And now I have a network, and I can articulate what it is I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring little pieces of light into people's lives. Because what is my job? My job is not to be an interviewer. My job is not to be a talk show host or just to own a network. I am here to raise the level of consciousness, to connect people to ideas and stories so that they can see themselves and live better lives.
By allowing herself to open up and be her true self without the fear of being ridiculed or judged, she's allowed millions of other people to do so as well. Oprah has become a familiar figure, someone who people trust, someone who people know won't judge them, but instead understand them. Let's go back to the beginning of Oprah's journey to becoming one of the most successful and recognized women of the 21st century.
You know, for 25 years I worked on the Oprah Show, and Stedman will tell you that there were nights that I came home and I almost, you know, it was hard to even like take off my clothes because I knew I was going to be getting up 4 hours later. But I never really felt exhausted, like I felt exhausted, but I never felt depleted. So do the work that comes straight from the soul of you, from your background, from stories that you've grown up with, from stories that bring you passion, from stories that you not just yearn to tell, but that if you don't tell them, they won't get told.
Oprah Gail Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954, on an isolated, rundown farm in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, to a single-teen mother, Vernita Lee, and Vernon Winfrey, a barber and businessman. Her name was supposed to be Orpah from the Bible, but because of the difficulty of pronunciation, her name became more simply Oprah, almost from birth. Her unmarried parents separated soon after she was born and left her in the care of her maternal grandmother on the farm, who made her learn the hard way. Oprah spent the first 6 years of her life living in a house with no indoor electricity or plumbing and having to use an outhouse as there was no bathroom. They even had to make their own clothing, and she later recalled being made fun of for wearing a homemade dress made from a potato sack. Her grandmother taught her to read by the age of 3 when she entered kindergarten. At an age when most children are only learning to talk, Oprah developed a love of reading that she retains to this day. Books became her opening to the world and the basis of her passionate belief in education. In fact, she declared later on that her ability to read and education saved her life, as well as being born at the right time. 1954 was the year of desegregation. On the first day of kindergarten, she wrote a letter to her teacher telling her she didn't belong there because she already knew too many big words. As she was able to read and write well past her age, she was moved to the first grade on the same day, and later on skipped to the second grade as well. Oprah moved around a lot as a young child, never staying in one school for long. She has said that her grandmother probably saved her and is the reason she's here today. Being taught to read gave her a foundation for success, and it opened the door to all kinds of possibilities. When Oprah was 6, her grandmother became ill. She was sent to live with her mother in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in an extremely poor and dangerous neighborhood. Her mother was very busy working as a maid and offered very little attention to the teenager. As a result, Oprah started to act out. She would skip school, steal money from her mother, and even run away. She was sent back to Nashville to live with her father. At age 12, she finally found some stability living with him and her stepmother. Her father was strict but encouraging. He gave Oprah the structure she needed and provided her with guidance, rules, and books. He required her to read a book and write a report on it each week, and she went without dinner until she learned 5 new vocabulary words each day. Oprah said her father saved her life too. As a child, young Oprah entertained herself by play acting in front of an audience of farm animals. By 7, she was reciting verses and poetry in the churches of Nashville. Where other children sang, Oprah talked, and this talent would take her places. One time, she even earned $500 for her speech. Her public speaking career really began then. She knew she wanted to be paid to talk. Oprah attended East Nashville High School when living with her father, where she continued developing her oratory gift. She was an active honor student and was a part of the drama and debate clubs. She was hardworking and very intelligent. In her senior year at high school, at the age of 17, her broadcasting career began when she got a job reading the news part-time for a local radio station in Nashville. By the time she graduated in 1971, she had won a scholarship in a public speaking competition which allowed her to attend Tennessee State University, a historically black institution. Her future looked bright. But in 1986, she came forward on her talk show, revealing that she suffered sexual abuse as a child. She broke down in tears while recalling the horrific experience of being repeatedly raped by her cousin when she was just 9 years old. She was abused by other family members as well, almost continuously until the age of 14. Not knowing any better, the young girl started to think this is the way life is. Full of shame, she never told anyone until she was in her late 20s. When she finally opened up about it for the first time, she was able to release the shame as she realized she was not to blame. She also opened up about her experience of domestic violence in her home that resulted in her inability to feel safe while sleeping. When she was 14, Oprah became pregnant as a result of a sexual assault, giving birth prematurely to a baby who survived less than 2 weeks. She would later name him Canaan. His father told her that he would rather have a dead daughter than a daughter who shamed his family. Those words would play over and over in her head. Devastated at this point, she felt the only way out was suicide. She later said that if internet had existed in those days, she probably wouldn't be here today, because the only reason she didn't kill herself was because she wasn't sure how to do it. But her father also said something that stuck with her forever.
When that child died, my father said to me, "This is your second chance. This is your opportunity to seize this moment and make something of your life." And I took that chance and understood for myself, even though I didn't have the words to articulate it, that now I know better, so I can do better.
After her son died, it was like a trigger that pushed her to change her vision of things. When she turned 16, she read a book, the autobiography of Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which she said changed her outlook on life. She said, "I read it over and over. I had never read a book that validated my own existence." Oprah made the decision to turn her life around. When opportunity showed around the corner for her, she took it. She understood that to break from her past and move on, she had to be the one responsible for her life. She felt that if she envisioned herself being successful, she would be able to achieve her goals. In 1971, after graduating from high school, Winfrey entered Tennessee State University. She was just 19 when she started to work as a broadcaster for WLAC-TV, the local CBS-affiliated television station in Nashville. She became the youngest news anchor and also the first black female news anchor at the station. She was already breaking ground for women of color. After winning a beauty pageant, she became the first African American to win the competition. She would also be crowned Miss Black Tennessee at age 18. While working part-time, she continued her education at Tennessee State University, where she studied communications. She majored in speech communications and performing arts, but left college a credit short of graduating in 1975 for her job. To her father's encouragement, she later completed the course and received her degree in 1987. Although she performed well in school, her college years were very difficult for her socially. In fact, she declared they were the worst years of her life. She had begun to crack under social pressures. Desperate to fit in and be accepted by others, she declared she had the disease to please. In 1976, Winfrey moved to Baltimore, Maryland to co-anchor the 6 o'clock news for WJZ-TV, the CBS affiliate station. But she felt that this job wasn't meant for her, and she eventually got fired. While working there, she had met journalist Gayle King. Although they worked in different departments, the pair said they were instantly drawn to one another. Their bond would only solidify throughout the years, and Gayle eventually became Oprah's best friend and supporter. She had lost a job, but won a lifelong friendship. Oprah encountered many challenges early on in her career. She was told she was too empathetic, feeling that she'd been thrown into television and acting like Barbara Walters, whom she looked nothing like. She was very insecure and struggled with suicidal thought. In 1978, she went on to co-host the TV morning show People Are Talking. The show became a hit. She would stay with it for 8 years. It was Oprah's first foray in the format, and it would forever change her life. A few years later, she heard about a job that she became determined to get. After sending off her audition tape, Oprah moved to a Chicago TV station in 1984 to host her own morning show, AM Chicago.
Hi there, my name is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah, spelled O-P-R-A-H, and if you noticed, it's Harpo spelled backwards. My folks did not particularly like Harpo marks. We did not even have a television set in our home for a number of years. Originally, I was named from the Bible by Aunt Ida, who named me from Ruth, the 1st chapter and the 14th verse, Orpah, but no one knew how to spell in my home, and that's why it ended up being Oprah.
The show was consistently last in the ratings. People around her didn't believe in her. In fact, the first episode aired on January 2nd, 1984, was disastrous. But she would get through it. What others saw as her weaknesses, she learned to see as her strengths. It wouldn't be long until she would turn a small local talk show into a national sensation. In less than a year, she broadened the format of the show and changed its focus from traditional women's issues to more current and debatable topics such as health, spirituality, literature, and social issues. In September 1985, the program was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show and was expanded to 1 hour and broadcasted nationally. Just like that, she became the top show host personality in the country, overtaking Donahue, the highly popular show at the time. Her open and warm-hearted personality had won the heart of millions. She began to change people's lives. With an audience of 10 million people, the show grossed $125 million by the end of its first year. Oprah became a millionaire at 32.
I certainly believed that the Oprah Winfrey Show was the foundation. I mean, I had the vision of that years and years ago, because I was thinking it doesn't make sense just to be able to make this kind of money and to buy shoes. It just doesn't make sense. What is all of this for? So as a part of my life's journey, as I think it is a part of everybody's, you're constantly questioning, what does this really mean? And what am I supposed to do with this? And how am I supposed to use this? And how can I get better? So for me, that will be the quest to the end,
During this time, producer and music legend Quincy Jones had noticed her on the program, and he approached her to star in the film The Color Purple. Oprah had always wanted to be an actress, even though her father disagreed with that. This coming-of-age period drama directed by Steven Spielberg was Oprah's film debut. She was inexperienced, but her performance won her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. The film was a huge success. Oprah's star power significantly increased. Oprah said that she was unfit for television news because she was always too involved emotionally in the stories and the people. In her 1989-90 season of her show, she interviewed Trudy Chase, a woman diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, having 92 distinct personalities. Chase had been violently and sexually abused from the age of 2, and said her old self ceased to exist after that. After introducing Chase, Winfrey unexpectedly broke down in tears while reading the teleprompter. Unable to control herself, she repeatedly asked producers to stop filming. In 1986, she created her own production company, Harpo Productions, which is Oprah spelled backwards, making her the third woman in the American entertainment industry to own her own studio. She used the company as a place to produce stories she thought were worth telling. In 1994, noticing talk shows becoming increasingly exploitive and trashy, Oprah pledged to keep her show free of tabloid topics. Although ratings initially fell, she earned the respect of her viewers and was soon rewarded with a surge in popularity. Despite a dark and traumatic beginning, Oprah refused to let challenges break her. In fact, these challenges made her, as they would cause her to develop strength and a powerful vision that would drive her forward. She later declared in an interview, "I truly believe that thoughts are the greatest vehicle to change power and success in the world. Everything begins with thoughts." This was just the start to an admirable journey. By 1991, Oprah was reported to be the most successful woman in show business. In 1995, she became the richest African American of the 20th century. Over the years, she has constantly found new ways to connect with her fans. She launched the Oprah's Book Club in 1996 as a part of her talk show. The program featured a monthly book highlight and transformed many unknown authors into bestsellers. In 2018, she famously interviewed former First Lady Michelle Obama for the release of her memoir, Becoming. Oprah has contributed immensely to the publishing world.
My goal was to have more fun this year, and the whole book club idea came about because I love books and I wanted to do something that I really loved, and the fact that it's impacting everybody else, that's a good thing.
In 1997, she introduced Oprah's Favorite Things, an annual list of gifts and items personally favored by her that she would then give away to audience members. Oprah said this was all about sharing an exciting moment with people. In 1999, she co-founded Oxygen Media, a company dedicated to producing cable and internet programming for women. And in 2000, she started her highly successful monthly magazine, O, the Oprah Magazine. In 2003, at 49, she became the first African-American female billionaire in history. And by 2006, she was the highest paid TV entertainer in the U.S., earning more than 5 times the salary of the second highest paid TV entertainer, Simon Cowell. In 2007, she revealed that she was diagnosed with a thyroid disorder that made her gain 20 pounds. Oprah has opened up about her struggle with her weight over the years, and she has encouraged other women to do the same. In 2009, Oprah announced that she would be ending the Oprah Winfrey Show to focus on OWN when her contract with ABC would end in 2011. The final episode aired on Wednesday, May 25th, 2011. She finished the show in tears.
So I thank you all for your support and your trust in me. I thank you for sharing this yellow brick road of blessings. I thank you for tuning in every day along with your mothers and your sisters and your daughters, your partners, gay and otherwise, your friends, and all the husbands who got coaxed into watching Oprah. And I thank you for being as much of a sweet inspiration for me as I've tried to be for you. I won't say goodbye. I'll just say, until we meet again.
The episode received the show's highest rating in 17 years. The Oprah Winfrey Show ran from 1986 to 2011. During that time, it produced 4,561 episodes and took home 47 Daytime Emmys. TV Guide lists it among its 50 greatest shows of all times, and today it remains the single highest rated daytime talk show in the history of American television. After 25 seasons on the air, you would think Oprah might want to retire. But instead, 2011 was the year she founded OWN, her very own specialty television network that attracts superstar talent and builds a global community of like-minded viewers. The network was a bit slow to start, but it made headlines in January 2013 when it aired an interview with Lance Armstrong, the American cyclist and 7-time Tour de France winner who was stripped of his titles in 2012 due to doping charges. The Oprah Winfrey Network is now available in millions of homes.
This is real. This really happened. You know, because for so many days and nights and hours and conversations with all my friends back and forth. Should I not? I don't know. What do you think? Can I do it? Do people really want to see something meaningful? Maybe they just want to see all that crappy stuff. Maybe they just want people arguing and tearing each other's clothes off and tearing each other down. Maybe I'm completely wrong. It doesn't just feel like a victory for me. It feels like a victory for people who are on the side of good. You know, I wanted this network to be a force for good. It's just a teeny tiny little beginning. Let's just get real. You know, we got some really nice shows, but the best is yet to come. It's going to take a long time to build it. This is from a girl who could not find her name on a license plate tag growing up. I couldn't find even my initials anywhere. I couldn't find my name on a lunchbox. I couldn't find my name anywhere, and now I have it. All the hours and time and energy and stuff that you go through to express your work in a way that's meaningful to people, it means that somebody noticed that. And so that means a lot.
On January 24, 2011, the talk show queen revealed a bombshell family secret. She told her viewers that she recently learned she had a half-sister named Patricia, whom her mother had hidden from her for decades. Back in 1963, when Oprah was 9 years old and living with her father, Oprah's mother gave birth to a baby girl. Patricia was put up for adoption and lived in a series of foster homes until she was 7 years old. It was one of the greatest surprises of my life, Oprah said on her show. At the time her show debuted, Oprah and Stedman Graham, a businessman and author, began dating in 1986. She soon realized he was kind and supportive. She said months into the relationship, lots of people want to ride with you in the limo, but you want someone who will help you catch the bus, she added. Winfrey has been in a relationship with her longtime partner since then. He proposed in 1993, but they never tied the knot. In a 2020 O Magazine article, Oprah recalled the immediate joy of being proposed to, and then realizing she preferred her relationship with him as it was. She opened up later on saying the reason for it is that she didn't want the sacrifices. They have said that if they had married, their relationship would not have lasted. She wrote, I realized I didn't actually want a marriage. I wanted to be asked. I wanted to know he felt I was worthy of being his missus. But I didn't want the sacrifices, the compromises, the day in, day out commitment required to make a marriage work. My life with the show was my priority, and we both knew it. They have been together for almost 35 years. The couple lives in Chicago, and although their family currently includes 3 adorable dogs, they chose not to have children. Like their unmarried status, it's a well-thought choice she has zero regrets about. I also believe that part of the reason why I don't have any regrets is because I got to fulfill it in a way that was best for me, she said. On Thanksgiving Day 2018, Oprah's mother passed away. Oprah shared a powerful conversation she had with her mother before the end.
What I said was, thank you. As a young girl, having a baby in Mississippi, no education, no training, no skills, 17, you get pregnant with this baby. Lots of people would have told you to give that baby away. Lots of people would have told you to abort that baby, and you didn't do that. And I know that was hard, and I want you to know that no matter what, I know that you always did the best you knew how to do. And look how it turned out.
She then returned to the big screen with roles in The Butler and Selma. She continues to make occasional acting appearances today. In 2021, Oprah Winfrey co-wrote What Happened to You with Dr. Bruce Perry, in which she is working to understand how her mental health was impacted by her past long-lasting traumas, as she encourages others to do the same.
Nobody can be powerful unless you are also authentic. You cannot be powerful unless you're also real. And I have made a living out of it, really a really good one, as a matter of fact, out of being myself. And so there's a wonderful line from a friend of mine, Gary Zukav's book, where he says, when you align your personality with your soul, or when you align your personality with your purpose, you then become the most authentically powerful person you can be. So it's about using your personality to serve a greater purpose for yourself. And for me, it's always been about the greater purpose, you know? Using your life to inspire other people. What can you do to encourage, to uplift, to inspire, as well as entertain, because we're in an entertainment business. So that's what it's all about. So I say to anybody who wants to be powerful, find out a way to be more of yourself, because that's how you're going to be the most powerful.
By 2004, Oprah ranked among the 50 most generous Americans. She has given back to the world in a major way. In 1998, she founded the Oprah Angel Network, a public charity established to encourage people around the world to make a difference in the lives of others. She is a dedicated activist for women's and children's rights and has donated an estimated $4 million to educational programs, scholarships, museums, and disaster relief following Hurricane Katrina. In 2007, inspired by the venerable Nelson Mandela, she opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, a boarding school where disadvantaged young women are given the skills and opportunities to change not just their own life, but the world. Oprah Winfrey has famously said, "Education is the key to unlocking the world, a passport to freedom."
In my primary school, there wasn't much resources, so I wasn't able to grow that much and tap my potential. But when I came here, when I had the support and the resources, I was able to grow as a person and actually shine as we are shining right now.
Triumph, today of extraordinary victory. I want to build the kind of school that raises the bar for expectations for what a poor girl can be. Because I was a poor girl, growing up in a rural area with my grandmother, and it is only because somebody saw in me what I later saw in these girls that I am standing here today. I know that education is the door to freedom. So I want to do that for girls who come from backgrounds like my own.
She has received numerous awards, including the Jean Herschel Humanitarian Award. And in November 2013, for her contributions to her country, former U.S. President Barack Obama awarded her the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Early in Oprah Winfrey's career, her bosses told her she should change her name to Susie. I have to pause here to say I got the same advice. They didn't say I should be named Susie, but they suggested I should change my name. People can relate to Susie. That's what they said. It turned out, surprisingly, that people can relate to Oprah just fine. In more than 4,500 episodes of her show, her message was always, you can. You can do, and you can be, and you can grow, and it can be better. And she was living proof. Rising from childhood poverty and abuse to the pinnacle of the entertainment universe. But even with 40 Emmys, the distinction of being the first Black female billionaire, Oprah's greatest strength has always been her ability to help us discover the best in ourselves. Michelle and I count ourselves among her many devoted fans and friends. As one of those fans wrote, I didn't know I had a light in me until Oprah told me it was there.
Oprah G. Winfrey is a global media icon. When she launched The Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986, there were few women, and even fewer women of color, with a national platform to discuss the issues and events shaping our times. But over the 25 years that followed, Oprah Winfrey's innate gift for tapping into our most fervent hopes and deepest fears drew millions of viewers across every background, making her show the highest-rated talk show in television history. Off-screen, Oprah Winfrey has used her influence to support underserved communities and to lift up the lives of young people, especially young women, around the world. In her story, we are reminded that no dream can be deferred when we refuse to let life's obstacles keep us down.
Honorees, please.
In January 2018, she became the first African American woman to be honored with the Golden Globes Cecil B. DeMille Award for her outstanding contribution to the world of entertainment. She gave a powerful speech.
I would have to say that all of the great, wonderful experiences of my life that have brought me to this moment have come from working from the interior of myself. And so that's why it feels so authentic, because it actually is. So when you do that, you'll win. At 7, I was so sad. All of my real love came from my teachers. And so my teachers, I would say this to anybody in this room, you have no idea the power of noticing another human being and what it feels like when somebody knows that they have been seen, truly seen by you. It is the greatest offering you can give. And all those years of the Oprah show, the greatest lesson I learned was that, you know, after every show, someone would say invariably in one way or another, how was that? I'd finish an interview with the father who killed his twin daughters. I'd finish an interview with politician Barack Obama, Joe Biden, George Bush. Beyonce, they all say the same thing. How was that? And so I started to see that there's this common thread in our humanity where everybody wants to know, how was that? Did I do okay? Did you hear me? And did what I say mean something to you? So I would have to say that recognizing that in other people has helped me to become, you know, a person of compassion, a person of understanding, a person who can interview anybody about anything, because I know that the core of you is the same as the core of me. You just want to be heard. Lots of pundits, lots of talk on the TV about what me being here means and everything.
Oprah also campaigned for Democratic presidential Barack Obama in December 2007 at the University of South Carolina football stadium, where 29,000 supporters attended a rally. She told the crowd, Dr. Martin Luther King dreamed the dream. But we don't have to just dream the dream anymore. We get to vote that dream into reality by supporting a man who knows not just who we are, but who we can be. It's hard to imagine that someone who has achieved so much, once dressed in potato sacks and wore no shoes as a child. The odds were stacked against this young African-American child born in segregated Mississippi. Some call her lucky. But Oprah Winfrey doesn't believe in luck. She believes luck is preparation meeting opportunity, and she's proved her point. In the course of her remarkable life journey, she has scored success after success. In her 2013 Harvard commencement speech, she delivered an important message.
There is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. Now, when you're down there in the hole, it looks like failure. So this past year, I had to spoon feed those words to myself. And when you're down in the hole, when that moment comes, it's really okay to feel bad for a little while. Give yourself time to mourn what you think you may have lost. But then, here's the key. Learn from every mistake.
she learned how to be unapologetically herself. And thanks to her compassion and engaging personality, she reached and inspired millions of people all around the world. She might be one of the wealthiest women in the entertainment industry today, but money was never her focus. Her focus was to give a voice and connect people to themselves. Oprah is a teacher, a seeker of truth in herself and in others. Her empathy, honesty, and love of people have made her one of the most beloved women in America. Oprah Winfrey's public speaking career began in the church. At a young age, Oprah talked. Today, she's still talking, but to much larger audiences. And when Oprah talks, the world listens.
Michelle and I love Oprah Winfrey. Personally, love this woman. And the more you know Oprah, the more spectacular you realize her character and her soul are. And the more you appreciate what a wonderful, gifted person she is.
In the face of adversity, she adapted, overcame, and never stopped fighting for a better life. The path that led her from a small farm in Mississippi to becoming the first African-American woman billionaire is a story of unwavering strength, relentless determination, and endless possibilities.